The economy is trashed. Our children are illiterate, and we're unhealthier than we've ever been. And the list goes on and on of things that are going on right now. But a lot of them could be all traced back to women and feminism. Women don't want to be women anymore. Women stopped wanting to be women a long time ago. They want to be men, and it shows in everything that we do. We have a totally messed up conception and mindset of what it is to be a woman. We really must think that it must be easier to be a man, or we secretly love or envy. I don't know what it is, what we have inside of us that makes us want to be men so bad, but we don't even see it. We walk around like we enjoy being women, and we clearly don't. Why? Because we have thrown away everything that makes us women, that we should have pride and enjoy about being a woman, and we have thrown it all away. We don't want to look good anymore. We don't want to put work in the gym. We want to go out and make our own money. We want to own our own things and act like we don't need men for anything. We left our children behind. Our children are slow. Our children don't know how to read. They don't know how to write. The obesity crisis is at an all-time high. Our children are fat. We are feeding them crap every single day just to get them out of our faces. This is not the way that it was designed to be by God. And then we claim that we're Christians. We claim that we follow Christ, but we want to just throw men to the wayside and act like we can do it all on our own. And then when we figure out that we can't, we want to make excuses and blame men for all our problems when we didn't want to be women in the first place. Being a woman, there are so many flexes. The flex to being a woman is having a man who loves you, that you get to build a family with. That is the flex. Sitting at home, taking care of your man. But we threw that away because we wanted to work so bad. We wanted to make our own money because we didn't want anybody to tell us nothing. We're hard-headed. That's how we are. We're like children. You know how children always talk back? They don't want to be told what to do. They want to have the last word. They want to be right. That's us. That's women. We are grown children walking around here. From the moment we're born, we're taught that we're better than just because we're girls. We deserve certain things. We deserve certain privileges. Hold the door for us. Do this, do that. You can't talk to a girl that way. We were taught that we're special. That's what we're thinking. And we totally negated all the information of what we're supposed to be doing, what it is our duty to do on this planet, on this earth. We're supposed to be raising families, finding a man, having a man find us, make an honest woman out of us, give him children, take care of our families, raise the next generation. Instead, we want to be out here working. And because of that, guess what? The economy's messed up. There's no jobs. No one's hiring. Employees treat us like crap. They don't pay us nothing. Look at the minimum wage. The minimum wage has not gone up, but inflation has. Why? Because the market is oversaturated, because us women did that. We wanted to work so bad. We didn't want to just follow the way God designed our path to be. Hey, we could have all had it easy. Literally. Instead, y'all are online crying about how you can't pay bills. You're tired of working. And this isn't everyone, but it's a lot of us. A lot of us women are out here struggling. Why? Because we wanted to do it on our own. We didn't think we needed a man. We didn't think that we needed anything. But you don't realize you do.
Women, we so stuck up in this feminism. with having a choice, that we got to feel liberated, that we don't even realize the consequences of our actions. Like, we want to run around here and call a man a deadbeat if he don't want the baby, but bitch, you can go kill the baby and get a pat on the back when you don't want it. Break.
Wicked women with liberty will be humbled. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, as always, before I begin this exhortation, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to the true, holy, and powerful names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, the Most High Power of Israel, whom this world ignorantly calls God, Jesus Christ. Real names in the Paleo Hebrew, Azalashimon Kadash, which means the holy tongue, is Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Bacha Hadash. All right, double honors the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well the great doctrines and exhortations of the heavenly scriptures. Decent salutations to your hopeful elect, Akim, brothers that's out doing His work, in truth, faith, sincerity, and fear of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, yeah, as you just seen from that opening clip, all right, you had the woman that was telling the truth, all right, on the condition of most women here in Babylon, America, all right, with the exception of a very, very small few, all right, and that's why we always say to the hopeful, sincere women, that come across these videos, shalom, all right, you do have a few, all right, but as pertains to the majority, all right, that's not the case, right, because we live in a society where women have been fully liberated, all right, under the rulership of Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, all right. He has allowed these wicked women to be fully liberated, all right, to be let loose, let free, all right. That's why, hence the title, Wicked Woman with Liberty Shall Be Humbled, all right. Because what does it say about a wicked woman getting liberty? Let's see real quick. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 25 and 25. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. All right. And that's the thing. You had the woman's lib, like the young lady that was talking in the video. Hey, who knows, man? She might be delivered. She might come across an elect men in these last days. All right. Because that's the only way any woman is going to be delivered in Jacob's trouble. All right. Is via an elect member taking her to wife, like it says in the scriptures, Isaiah 4:1, 7 women shall take hold of one man. All right, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. I may have to grab that. All right, you see, and 7 goes into completion, so it could be any amount of numbers. All right, it's a lot of women that's in the mind frame of, they liberated, they living it up, living their best lives, and it's supposed that nothing can happen. Right, but what does the scripture say? Let me just see. Dead while she lives. Yep. This is 1 Timothy 5 and 6. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. All right. And that's the condition of the majority of these women, man. They living in pleasure. All right. They have abundance. They have OnlyFans. They got social media. All right. And you as a man, you can't compete with social media. All right. That's going to get their attention every time. All right. You try to court a woman. It's always, she's always looking for the bigger and better, person with more money, etc. You see? Attention. All right. So these women, they living in pleasure, man. All right. But that's a dead state that these women are living in, man. All right. And eventually it's going to produce physical death. Right. A lot of these wicked women in Jacob's trouble because the majority, the 2/3 of Israel are women. All right. Speaking about other nation of Israel. All right. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Especially Eve with the weave. All right. So-called black woman. Right, she's top of the list. She's head honcho. All right, she leading the pack. You see, she gonna definitely be quiet, and humble in this time. Okay, and I for one can't wait to see it, man. Lord willing, I do. Okay, because it's about that time. All right. Let's go back. All right. This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and 9, starting there. All right, and as you see the subtitle, it says, "Woman instructed." Okay, because a woman is supposed to be instructed by, a man that's instructed, particularly a man of the Lord, instructed by the scriptures. All right. You see, woman ain't supposed to run around like a chicken with her head cut off, liberated, doing whatever she feels comfortable to do. All right, because the woman is the weaker vessel. All right, they're not supposed to be uncensored and liberated. Okay, and that was the lie that the serpent told Eve in the garden. Okay, so let's read. It says, verse 9, it says, "In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shame." And these women, they're not dressing in modest apparel, especially in the summertime. Don't let it get hot. You're gonna see everything but their nakedness, man. Or well, you'll be able to envision it for sure. Okay, and that's how these women like. That's what happens, man. Your husband is the only one supposed to see all your goods, man. You got women with husbands that's out there like that, all right? Because their husbands be simps, all right? They're allowing their woman to dress provocatively, and then they get mad when she go out and commit adultery. What did you expect, man? All right? Anyway, it says modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety. You definitely ain't having that. Right? These women, they go out every day of the week to go have a drink, right? And they damn for sure ain't shamefaced it. All right, in humility, all right, they got their head, like scripture says, they walk around with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, okay? You see? So, it says, "Not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array." And in the time to come, man, there ain't gonna be none of that. All right, the scriptures speak about how the vintage shall fail. All right, "Tremble ye women that are at ease." I know that's in Isaiah somewhere. I might for sure have to grab that. All right, so these things ain't gonna be available, man. All right, and Salaki is very windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me through the wind. Let me see. Let's keep reading though. It says, verse 10, "But which becometh women professing godliness with good works." All right, and the good works that a woman is supposed to do is that is pleasing her husband. Right, that's the main good works that the Lord requires for a woman to do. Right, they're not required to teach. They're not required to we be on the front lines, being soldiers. You got women in the army. You got women doing every fucking thing. That was the women's liberation. All right, it was to allow them everything. Matter of fact, I need to get that definition before we go further. All right, now this is the origins of the whole feminist movement here. All right, with the whole women's liberation movement that took place back in the early 60s. All right, and as you see here, we have an overview. Let me see, let's look at Wikipedia, what it has to say. It says here, "The women's liberation movement was a political alignment of women and feminist intellectualism. It emerged in the late 1960s and continued till the 1980s, primarily in the industrialized nations of the Western world." You see, primarily here in the West. You see, and that's the reason why you have, so many women, over here that's bugged out, right? Because they took hold of this liberation. Okay, and we just read in the scriptures, "Give not liberty unto a wicked woman to gad abroad." All right, you see, so in other countries around the world, especially over in the Eastern world, like the Muslims and Ishmael and them, they had a woman under strict protocol. All right, they can't show all their whole body. All right, they can't be talking loud in the streets. They for damn sure can't be having multiple men. Different things like that are idolized here in the West. All right, because this place fully liberates women. It doesn't, you know, hell, you even had the whole slut walk thing they was doing. I forget who was behind that, but it was like a parade, you know, for women that just boldly proclaim being sluts. You see, so hey, that's bugged out. All right. Anyway, let's continue. It says, which resulted in a great change politically, intellectually, and culturally throughout the world. See, throughout the world. And when the scriptures say, you know, that wine that Babylon caused the world to drink, let me see. Let's just get that real quick. All right, this is part of it. Have drunk. This should do it. Let's try this. Revelation 18:3. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. All right. Speaking about America, the whore that rides the beast, that's that her. All right. And the wine goes into, you know, the way of the West, the politically, you know, countries trying to emulate, you know, the whole do what thou wilt spirit. You got a lot of countries, you know, involved in that, you know, the whole and the liberation of women. You know, now you got, you know, places around the world where that's not accepted. All right. That with the whole Mo activity, all right, the LGBTQ and all of that, that's not accepted in many countries. Okay, but America demonizes those countries that don't take upon themselves these abominations, pretty much, you know. So it says, all the nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath for fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. It says, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right. So yeah, you know, that is going into something else. I just really want to get that part, you know. But yeah, the merchants of the earth have waxed rich as well because of the different you know, commodities that they are able to import over here, you know, because America doesn't really export anything. All right. That's why when you read further in this chapter, it goes into the nations, how they're going to cry and wail for her because they can't, you know, sell their merchandise here anymore, pretty much. But anyway, we can read verse 4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Right now, this is a different come out of her than that of Micah 2:10, where it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Right, that's talking about rising out of this place, and spiritually speaking, all right, mentally, right, all right. And like Scripture says, we're in the world, but not of the world. Right, we don't tag along with that whole American mindset. Scripture say, though hand be joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Right. So, but this is talking about the chariots beaming up the elect. Right. It says, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Okay, and that's the point that we at with it right now. All right, the sins of America has reached to its full capacity, pretty much. All right, and the Lord, and just sticking with the point, you know, the woman's liberation is a major factor in that. All right. That's part of the sin, right? There's a whole bunch of, you know, other things that goes with it as well. But sticking to the theme of this lesson, all right? It's the woman's liberation, all right? Now, let's go back here. Where do we end off at? All right, it says the woman's liberation branch of radical feminism. See, radical feminism. And that's what you have here in this society. They're very radical with it. All right. They push for rights, equal rights in every damn thing. All right. But then when you have, you know, Transformers, you know, joining, you know, in their sports, now they want to be upset because they're losing everything. And Trump recently, he canceled that out. All right. He said that ain't going to no longer be a thing. All right. Well, men can compete in women's sports, which, you know, that's cool. right? But they don't change the fact that these women are, it's a lot of feminists in this society. Anyway, we're going to get that definition too, but it says, based in contemporary philosophy, comprised women of radical and cultural diverse backgrounds who propose that economic, physiological, and social freedom were necessary for women in process from being second-class citizens in their societies. Okay, which what's wrong with being a second-class citizen unto the man? All right, that's how the Lord set it up. All right, there's order. All right, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians 11:3. Let me highlight it. It says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. It's saying Christ here, but it's in the Hebrew, it's Hamashiach. It's talking about Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, It says, and the head of the woman is the man. Okay, you see? And the head of Hamashiach, Yahushai, is the Most High, Yahweh. Okay, that's the order that the Lord established. All right, I believe it's another scripture where it speaks about the woman is the head of the children or over the children. You see, so this is just how the Lord established order on the planet Earth, man. The Lord is all about order. There's orders in the heavens. The stars have order. The earth has order. Okay, the human body has order. Everything has order, man. Okay, without order, nothing can really function. You see, and it's the same way with a household. You got so many women out here that's raising these young Jake children by themselves, and they raise them up to be monsters, man. I think it's a scripture that say that, the women shall bring forth. Let me just see if that's. I think it's something, the women shall bring forth monstrous children. Oh, you know what? That actually don't even go with this this precept. To be honest, let's talk about something else. But anyway. This is the order that the Lord established, man. And a lot of women are trying to break this rank. All right, well, they have been given the liberty to be over the man. Nowadays, man, a lot of women is over the man in the workforce, over in the home. If I can find this clip where these man, it was embarrassing. Jake was getting punked on by his woman pretty much. Because he supposedly got caught cheating, which a man can't cheat. Man can have multiple women if he so choose, if he has the capacity to take care of them, just like they do in other countries. But anyway, like Scripture says, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So granted, it's not unlawful in the eyes of the Most High. You're not going to look down from heaven and judge a man if he has multiple women. But it's not convenient. It's not expedient in this time or in this society. All right. Anyway, so that's all I wanted out of there. Now let's get this other definition right quick, and we can go back to them precepts. All right, so let's get what feminism definition here in Google. All right, it says feminism is a social and political movement that advocates for gender equality and women's rights. See? But we just read in the scriptures that, it's a man and a woman are different, man. All right, there is no equality. A woman can't do everything that a man do, and a man can't do everything that a woman do. It's balance, you see? That's why when you put men in women's sports, men dominate, okay? So, I mean, what's the big deal about that, Why do you want to be on the level of a man? All right, and that's what the woman was saying at the beginning clip. That so many women are trying to be men. You got that whole book Steve Harvey made. What's the title of that book? Be a woman but think as a man, something like that. That's bugged out. All right, he sold a lot of copies on that book, man. A lot of people gravitate to that. But it's wicked though. That nigga is wicked. Anyway, now you got a lot of women that's on TikTok and social media platforms like YouTube, crying and complaining about having to go to work every day, and they ready to give up, all of that, Why do you think that is? You see, because they want to go in the workforce, they want it to be, do everything that a man do, right? especially Eve, kicking the man out the house, and are actually, taking part of the systems that cause for men not to be in a house, like Section 8 and other things, and just overall, following that woke ideology of a woman's liberation, man. It's bugged out. Anyway, it said it's based on the belief that women should have the same economic, social, and political rights as men, right? Well, if that's the case, I guess they can be on the front lines of the army then, if you haven't now I believe women are allowed in the army. They can go fight if they want to, but if you got an army full of women and an army full of men, who you think gonna win, See, so, but anyway, the whole thing is just about equal. Everything need to be equal, 50-50. But the reality of the situation is the Lord didn't create man and woman equal, man. All right, the woman is the weaker vessel. Right, we're gonna get that in the scriptures. But look at a couple of goals here that he lists. It says goals of feminism: ending sexism and sexist exploitation, achieving full gender equality in law and practice. Yeah, it says in law and in practice. Okay, it says respect diverse women's experiences, identities, knowledge, and strengths. Empowering all women to realize their full rights. Well, yeah, the way the Lord set it up, is perfect. You see, this whole system goes opposite to how the Lord originally had things established, man, for thousands of years. Right? Wasn't nothing wrong with the system for thousands of years, man. All right. You see, and a lot of women is like, look, they rather just be at home and let the man, do what the man got to do. You see, but. And granted, we live in a society where, they kind of force the women into the workforce as well, because of prices. And, you need two incomes in a house nowadays. It ain't like how it was in the 50s, the 60s, where you can just sit home. But this is when they started pushing, we just read it, women's liberation. That was in the 50s and 60s. All right, women had it good back then. All right, the money, everything was cheaper. The husband just needed one job. He can support the whole household. But they still wanted to be equal. And that was the Edomite woman that was calling for that at first. Then Eve, she gravitated to it and took it to a whole other level, right? But anyway, it says transforming systems of operation so that women, men, and gender non-forming people hold equal power, resources and rights. So it's all about having equal power, all right? So, yeah, man, that's it on those definitions. So let's get these last couple precepts, and that'll be it. What didn't we get yet? Oh yeah, let's go back to that 1 Timothy. We got on time. All right, back here to this 1 Timothy here. And I believe we left off on verse 11. It says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. All right. In the ancient world, even now, well, mainly in the ancient world, you wouldn't have women stand up in front of a congregation of men and get to talking, right? And get to voicing her opinion, you see, and how she feel about everything, you see. But nowadays you got women pastors, you got women in all aspects, telling men what to do, bossing over men, and really it's a false sense of masculinity. You got more lesbos than ever, right? This society is flooded with dykes, all right, and it's accepted, You see, I see them all the time. They everywhere now, man. It's rampant. Same way with the moles, right? So, yeah, so a woman ain't supposed to be teaching. You got even different Israelite groups like IUIC, allowing women to teach, they must ain't read the scripture. See? You're supposed to be in silence, right? Seen and not heard, right? And barely seen, especially around other men. You know, another man shouldn't be seeing your wife. You know, shouldn't be kicking it with your wife, drinking wine or nothing. It's a scripture that goes into that. I forget it. But anyway, let me look at this word, usurp. Here we go.
Strong's G 831. Althenateo.
All right, and it says, let me look at I like this one right here. To govern. Govern means to control. Right? It says exercise dominion over one. See? A woman shouldn't exercise dominion over a man. All right? Or dominance over a man. It goes against nature itself. You see? But we live in a bugged out society to where the ways of the Most High don't really apply. All right? Let me see. Is it the same in Google? Let's see what it say. Usurping Google, it says take position of power or importance illegally or by force. It says to seize, to take over. Commander officially takes position or control of something, especially of military purposes. All right, and man, I think you do have female generals in the army. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but if so, that's bugged out. All right, women are highly emotional. Right, they're oftentimes fickle, meaning they change their mind all the time. So being in positions of power like that, where you controlling over men's lives, that's not a good look, right? And that's why other countries, they look at America as weak. You know, the men have become effeminized, very weak, bati boys, as Benji would say. Just is everything is backwards, man. All right, like scripture says, surely the turning of things. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Bear with me, let me see. Because Esau turned everything upside down, man. So it's an upside down world. Let's see, surely. I just seen it. Here we go. Isaiah 29:16, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. All right. It's talking about Esau, man. All right. He turned everything upside down. All right. And in this case, you know, put women over the men. All right. Especially, mainly when it pertains to Israelite men. All right. You see, that was part of the plan, to put the woman against the man. Right? If I didn't mention that earlier, the whole Willie Lynch thing. See? And they executed it to the T. Let me see. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say to him that framed it, he have no understanding? Right? And that's how Edom thinks, you know, towards the Most High, that he has no understanding, that the way that the Lord originally established everything, all right, and he said it was good after he, you know, but here come Esau, the creation, the thing that was formed by the Most High. Okay, like scripture said, the Lord created the wicked for the day of evil, even though he doing what he's created to do, right? Be the devil, be the wicked, but nonetheless, you know, he trying to tell the Most High that he can do it better. Right, in all aspects of the Lord's creation, he's trying to manipulate every damn thing. Okay, so judgment, man. That's why judgment is going to come upon him and upon the society. Right, ain't gonna be no woman's lib in the kingdom. But let's go back here. I think I got a precept. Yep, Jeremiah 31. Let's get that. And hopefully I'm making sense, man. I don't want to be just... Let's see, what was that? 31. Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? Right? Speaking to the woman of the nation of Yashar Allah, or Israel as is known in today's time. Right? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, for the Lord have created a new, and they're backsliding. Okay? Well, let's look at this word backsliding real quick. See what it says. Well, it don't really say nothing. Let me Google it right quick. I don't think I ever looked this word up. Let's see. Backsliding, the action of relapsing into bad ways or error. Well, can't really say they relapsing. This is a new thing that the Lord created. So, but they're going backwards. All right. This is not that whole women's liberation is not a forward movement in terms of longevity. All right. It's not something that you can have longevity with moving forward in the future. All right. We are already seeing the negative effects of that. All right. People are complaining. All right. Many women are complaining about this whole thing. All right. It's counterproductive. You see, it's out of order. All right. The Lord have given straight commandment to men on the earth. All right. I believe that's in Sirach, the 7th chapter. We ain't got to get it, but so that's the reason why the scriptures speak about the Lord at some point gonna set over the earth one that is profitable. Let me get that real quick. Let me see. Bear with me, Salakia. And it's not to say you don't have, feminine women out there, but by and large, we talking about America, Babylon. All right. Let me see one. Right. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yep. The book of Ecclesiasticus. Nope, that ain't it. Yep, Ecclesiasticus 10:4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. Right. He controls everything. He controls who comes into power, who I think it's Daniel 4:17. The Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right. It says, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right. In due time, one that is profitable. And that's the time we're in right now. It's long overdue. All right. Under the Edomite rulership of planet Earth, the earth is in disarray. All right. People are mourning. All right. I'm gonna do a lesson on that, Lord willing. Maybe even tonight, Lord willing. The multitudes of the people is in mourning. Scripture say, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You see, the only people that's rejoicing is those that's doing wickedly. All right, to get their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. All right, to eat off the rich man's tables, the crumbs. All right, but the vast majority of the people that's not on the level of a celebrity and whatnot, an elite, all right, is mourning. You see? So obviously, that whole feminism is not, it's not good, man. All right, let's go back. Where's we at? All right, back here in Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Let's look at this word, compass. All right. I believe it means to, let's just get it.
Strong's H5437. Savav. Savav.
Let's see which one mostly applies. I like this one right here. To cause to go around. Surround or encompass. So pretty much to go around a man's authority. All right. You see. And that's what they have been allowed to do. It ain't just that the woman could easily, just do that, It's just because of the society, I'm pretty sure if men had it their way, that's the reason why you have so many, abusive relationships that end in a bad way, with somebody being unalived, mostly the woman, right? Because, men aren't allowed to, how can I say? I don't want to use the word discipline, but just be men. Women got too much freedom and social media and all that, and anyway, and then you do have a lot of bugged out, jealous men, but at the same time, shit. That's why you gotta have the spirit of the Lord, man. All right, that'll ward off any of those mental issues, that a lot of these men deal with. All right, dealing with these women. Okay. Anyway, let me see. Do we have another precept? Yep. Let's go to Genesis. I already wrote everything down, so. Now this is when the Lord punished Eve. Let's see, the title says the fall of man, right? Which was initiated by a woman, right? Anyway, it says, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh power have made. All right, it's talking about, they ain't talking about an actual snake, a serpent, an animal. It's talking about the word serpent goes to a subtle, shrewd, cunning man, individual, right? This is pretty much an Edomite, all right, back in the ancient world, before he was Edom. You see, it says, and he was more subtle than any beast of the field. When the Lord made the beast, I believe on the 5th day, that encompasses everybody, every human on planet Earth, of the heathens, all right? And after creation, I believe it was after the 7th day was when the Lord breathed and, and formed Adam, the chosen Adam, all right, out of the bunch, you see? But that's a whole nother lesson. But, so let's keep reading. It says, and he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Being slick, trying to question the Most High's pure motives, Of course he said that. It says, verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of every fruit of all of the trees of the garden. All right. Oh, and if I didn't say, all right, it's another scripture to speak about when the Lord takes down Esau, that how it go, and that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, is cast into the fiery furnace or something, the lake of fire. It's that nuclear destruction. I was talking about Esau, that just to point out the fact that it refers to him as a serpent. Anyway, it says, verse 3 says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. All right, now this wasn't talking about an actual apple, right? Apples don't make it cause you to die. All right, it's talking about a way of life, a philosophy, the way of wickedness. All right, wasn't supposed to partake in it. All right, now we know in part and we prophesy in part, as the scripture says. All right, but in the kingdom we'll know everything. All right, scriptures don't elaborate on it fully, but this wasn't talking about an actual apple. All right, like the wacky tacky Christians say. Right, talk about the fruit of wickedness. You see. Anyway, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. It says, for the Most High doth know, and it was a lie. That was a straight up lie. Ye shall not surely die. All right, but anyway, it says, for the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right. So they already knew good. Right. Good was the only thing on their mind at the time. Right. And essentially, to become a god, you have to know good and evil. Right. So because the Lord, that's how the Lord Yahweh operates. He deals with both sides. Right. So like the apostles always say, we have to experience evil, in order to become the rightful judges of the earth, as we will be, right? So, and part of that fruit of wickedness that was produced in her taking on those philosophies and handed it to her husband, all right, was her being over him. The serpent was like, hey, you'll be as a god. That's the reason why in this society, even going back to, I think Esau got it from the Hamites, right, back in Egypt, where woman worship, right? There was a deity in Rome, in Greece, Diana, I think it was. She was a Greek goddess. You had different Greek goddesses, all right? Mother Earth and all of that. You see, that's all Greek and Roman philosophies, man. All right, that they took from other kingdoms previous to them. All right, and it's the same thing that they apply right now in today's society. All right, with this whole woman liberation. That's pretty much. And Jake took it to an extreme. You got different religions that say the woman is God. You see, how bugged out could that be? All right. Yeah. The man is the God. The God in the Hebrew just means Allah. It means power. All right. Man has power over the woman in that regard. But anyway, so hopefully, that was the point. All right, let's go back to that. What was that? 1 Peter's. No, second. I'm in the wrong chapter. Hold on. All right, so back here in 1 Timothy 2, let's read that verse 12 again. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Verse 13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. Okay, showing you the order. All right. It says, and Adam was not in the transgression, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. And we just read it in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, right? How it all started. Okay. All right. Back here in that Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24, it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay. So, going back to that 1 Timothy 2nd chapter, all right, where it speaks about the woman being the beginning of sin, because she was the, first to be deceived. See, the serpent went to Eve, I didn't mention, he went to her initially because she's the weaker vessel. He knew that he could get over on her. He knew that Adam would be too, strong-willed to give in to his cunningness, right? His subtlety, you see. So he didn't go to Adam, all right? And it's a scripture. Let me get it real quick. I think it's one of the precepts. 1 Peter 3 and 7. All right, it's the book of 1 Peter 3 and 7. It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel. See, as unto the weaker vessel is what it is. Physically she's weaker, and as well spiritually. All right, that's how women. That's why the scriptures speak about unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. All right, the Lord have called men to be in the front lines of His ministry. All right, you don't have women out on the highways and hedges every week teaching. All right, and if you do have that going on in certain camps, it's bugged out. All right, woman is supposed to stay home, and be head over the children. All right, be submissive to her own husband. All right, do the things that please him. Okay, and it's gonna go back to that, regardless of what these simp men think about it. All right, and regardless of what these women think about it, in the kingdom, it's gonna be perfect order. Right, don't be nobody complaining about. You don't hear the Arab woman complaining to her husband about what his her state of being, or the African woman. All right, they happy. You see, and when you try to bring that weight unto them, they look at you crazy, because if you're bred into a society where the woman is taught to cater to her husband, all right, then that's just the norm. Okay, there's nothing weird about that. All right, but in a society where, nah, girl, you can do what you want to, f that dude, da 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 da, evil aunties telling they nieces and that don't deal with no man, and bitter women they didn't have kids, and so you got that stuff going on, man. It's an endless cycle. All right, it's the truth. See, anyway, it says, and as being heirs together unto grace, that your prayers be not hindered. So that's the point. But Salaki, let me see. I think that's it on that. Get back to that Genesis real quick. We'll close it out. It's a little bit more here. Genesis 3. I just want to get the point what the Lord said to Eve, and we'll end it with that. Salakia. Let's see, verse 12. It says, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest me to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. See? It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. So everybody blaming somebody. Everybody passing the buck, so to speak. Verse 14, it says, and the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. All right, ain't talking about a serpent. A serpent don't eat dust. All right, people see, that's the thing. People read the scriptures and they take it to be literal when it's supposed to be spiritual. And they take things that's supposed to be spiritual, they'll take it literal. You see? Or if so people get it backwards, pretty much. All right. So this is what's it's gonna go on it to say it, right? Because really this is Esau being cursed. This is where it all started from. This is how the Lord created the wicked for the day of evil. This is how he was formed, right? Verse 15, it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? That enmity, all right, because the Lord likes drama. All right? That enmity transferred into Jacob and Esau, ultimately. All right? Well, Cain and Abel, then to Jacob and Esau. All right? And all the way up to this day, you got black and white. All right? You see? So it goes all the way back to the garden, man. See, he says, shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise. And the woman's seed is talking about the nation of Israel, the nation of Yasher Allah, all right, versus the Edomite nation of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, all right. And that's why when you read in Ezekiel 35:5, let me just get that real quick. I think it's Ezekiel 35:5. Let me see. Make sure I'm right. Ezekiel 35:5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and when you go into that word perpetual, it goes into undying hatred, everlasting hatred, from antiquity meaning ancient times, right? And we're reading it in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, where it all started. It says, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, that's all I wanted out of there. So, yeah, talking about Jacob and Esau. Going back here. Verse 16 is the main point I want. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in conception. When she having a baby, right? Because when a woman be screaming, the labor pains, all that. It says, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right? That's the point. He shall rule over thee. And when you give a woman liberation, she don't have to be ruled over. She can do what she want to do. All right? That's the society we live in, man. Right? Especially Eve, she don't like to be ruled over, man. All right, when you go, and I may do a part 2 to this, all right, because a wife means a servant. Scripture says when you get a wife, you get a possession. All right, wife is a person to serve her husband. All right, and that's the true nature of a woman. Yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2 for sure, because it's an actual black woman that actually pointed that out. There's a lot of women that's on the internet saying these same things, same talking points that I'm saying, right? So maybe people are understanding more from a woman's mouth, all right? If a woman tells you that, because we live in the age of enlightenment, so to speak, the age of truth. Like Scripture said, the Lord shall pour out His Spirit upon all flesh, right? That's the spirit of truth. All right, so truth is in the earth, man. Anyway, that's it for this lesson. All right, hopefully it was edifying. It made sense. And Lord willing, I'll come back with a part 2, because there's a lot more, different angles to this, but hopefully it was edifying. So, shalom.